It is Saturday, June 30th. We're here at Killarney Provincial Park. We're out for a 7-day trip starting on George Lake, heading to Carlyle, Balsam, Great Mountain Lake, Nellie Lake, Baie Finn, and then back out to George Lake. We can hear the thunder rolling in behind us, and it's supposed to be a hot and muggy week, around the 30s all week. Maybe some thunderstorms in there as well. So we're here on Freeland Lake now. And the rumbling thunderstorm that we heard earlier is starting to make itself present just in the horizon now. This is the start of the portage from Freeland into Killarney. Over that way is a high water bypass. We tried to get through the lily pads, but it became impassable. It's definitely a lot lower water now. We haven't had much rain all spring. It's been a very dry spring. Last weekend it rained all weekend, but I guess it's still not enough. You can see how low the water is. We're on Killarney Lake now. The portage into Kakazi Lake is in this bay. It's 1,400 meter. This is the start of the portage here. It looks like it's going straight up. We just finished the portage from Killarney Lake into Kakazi Lake. If we were able to have done the high water bypass, it would have come out there. It would have saved us a lot of bug bites and hills to go over, as well as 2 portages. The end of Kakazi Lake's just down there, and that's our last portage for the day. This is Kakazi Lake. It's turning out to be a nice day. We're almost at the end of it now. So this is camp on Carlyle Lake. We just got here maybe a couple hours ago, set up and went for a swim to cool off. We just gotta get firewood yet. Last year when we were here, there was a lot more rain in the spring. So this lake to my right was flowing out to the left. And there's no flow anymore this year. So yeah, we went for a swim in this lake, and that's really quite nice. This is Carlyle Lake. And there's a lot of tree pollen right near the shoreline. So it was nice being able to be in that lake. So yeah, last time we were here, this was flowing really good, but it's not doing anything right now. And the blueberries are just getting started. There might be a little bit of blue happening, but most of them are still pretty green yet. Maybe by the end of the week we'll get some ripe blueberries. It's a really beautiful flower. Not too sure what it is. So tonight for supper we're doing a pasta and meatball. I'm just frying up the veg right now, and then I'll add some dehydrated sauce to that, and then the meatballs. So I've just added the pasta sauce that I dehydrated to that, and then I'll just add some hot water to rehydrate it. So here's the finished product of meatballs and sauce. So here's the finished product of pasta and meatballs. And we got a pretty incredible view. There's a beaver coming in for a visit. So we just came across this waterfall as we were cruising around Terry Lake. It's a lake right behind our campsite. That's really quite nice. So this is it for day 1 here on Carlyle Lake. It took us about 4 hours to get here. It was a pretty good day. No rain or anything. And tomorrow we're heading to Balsam Lake. See you tomorrow. For breakfast today, we got breakfast wraps. So that's eggs, peppers, and cheese. It's turning out to be a fine morning as well. Good morning and happy Canada Day. We just finished breakfast here and we're going to pack up and head to Balsam Lake today. It's about 23 kilometers, very small portages in between, so most of it's just a canoe day. Here's the first beaver dam crossing on Carlyle Lake. We just got to drag over it. It's not very large. So we're just kind of in the center of this swamp and all the lily pads are in bloom. Look like little snowballs everywhere. From Carlyle Lake into Johnny Lake, and we can see a little bit of the quartzite vein back through Killarney again. For the most part it was just pine trees and low-lying area, but now we can finally see the mountain again. So this is a view of Silver Peak from Johnny Lake. It's the highest peak in the park. We're just coming up to the 25-meter portage at the end of Johnny Lake. It's a fairly large beaver dam that we're just going across. There's the portage right there. That's probably a 5-foot beaver dam. This is the start of the 300-meter from Johnny Lake into Bell Lake. It's shortly after the beaver dam we just went over. So this is Bell Lake and we're heading straight across into 3 Mile Lake. So we just paddled through Bell Lake and 3 Mile Lake, and this is the Swampy Narrows before the 40-meter portage into Balsam Lake. This is the start of the portage into Balsam Lake. There's an old cart trail to the left. Just heading down the cart trail. It would have been a lot of work to chip some of these sides out. So this is camp for day 2 here on Balsam Lake. You got the tent pad back here. There's a couple flat areas, but this one is best suited for our needs. And then we got the fire pit down here. It's got a great view of the lake. So far we've cut and split wood. And then you got the fire pit all ready to go for tonight. And the water access is all the way down here. Bit of a steep hill. But it comes out onto a really nice peninsula. I don't think we're going to get a sunset from here, but it's got a great view. Great 180-degree view. Definitely get the sunrise tomorrow. So tonight for supper we're having hot dogs. I got this fire going. Hopefully get some nice coals to cook them on. So this is the campsite just before the Narrows on Balsam Lake. I don't think it's a heavily used campsite, and it just had this large pine break off. Hopefully you wouldn't have your camps right here. Yeah, hopefully you didn't have your tent anywhere near here. It's just an island, but it's surrounded by swamp, so mosquitoes might be pretty bad. That's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, this is it. Really? And the Thunderbox is out there. I'm not sure how you're supposed to get there, but at least it has a great view. So this is it for day 2 here on Balsam Lake. We're just gonna sit back and enjoy the sunset. There's really no better way to celebrate Canada's birthday than to cruise a lake in a canoe. We'll see you tomorrow.